Elon Musk hints at shocking endgame behind Tesla's humanoid robots. When Elon Musk recently unveiled an early walking prototype of Tesla's humanoid Optimus robot, public reactions spanned awe, skepticism, and nervous jokes regarding welcoming potential bot overlords. Yet Musk contends these bipedal androids represent instrumental steps towards viable deep space exploration, rather than the onset of some machine uprising straight from science fiction. On the surface, any linkage between developing versatile robots and establishing sustainable civilizations on the Moon, Mars, or beyond may seem tenuous at best. But contextual insights around Musk's various companies reveal several fascinating synergies between his ostensibly disparate tech ventures that could ultimately facilitate humanity's boldest interplanetary migration dreams within the coming decades. Let's review the pieces currently on this celestial chessboard. First and foremost stands SpaceX, Musk's crown jewel rocket company spearheading efforts to return astronauts to the Moon's surface by 2025 at the earliest on behalf of NASA's Artemis program. SpaceX first had to master routinely launching cargo, then cruise, to the International Space Station in low Earth orbit aboard its workhorse Falcon 9 rockets. Now SpaceX's rapid iteration test flying an entirely new, fully reusable mega rocket known as Starship. This gleaming, bullet-shaped vehicle stands nearly 400 feet tall and represents the most ambitious and capable orbital-class rocket system under development by any private company or nation today. Once operational, Starship could deliver over 200,000 pounds to low Earth orbit in a single flight, rivaling the mighty Saturn V rockets that enabled Apollo astronauts to first walk the Moon last century. Moreover, full reusability of the entire system promises dramatically lower launch costs, thanks to minimal refurbishment between flights. Indeed, if the still experimental Starship manages to enter reliable service within the next few years as Musk hopes, it alone could constitute a complete game-changer regarding space access and economics. That unparalleled lift capacity coupled with unprecedented reusability may finally drive launch expenses low enough to fully realize Musk's long-held dream of constructing permanent human settlements on Mars as a technological insurance policy for humankind. Yet rocket ships and spacesuits alone cannot build livable cities on alien worlds largely lacking breathable atmospheres, flowing surface water, and moderate ambient temperatures. Mars pioneers will also face chronic hazards like intense radiation exposure, unreliable equipment, physical injuries, contaminations, psychological challenges compounding over months-long voyage durations, and communication lags prolonging resupply contingencies far from terra firma. This is where legions of rugged, generalist humanoid robots able to gracefully handle repetitive or dangerous tasks amid volatile environments could make or break hopes for space diaspora across the inner solar system. Enter Neuralink, the famed Tesla subsidiary which since 2016 has been developing extraordinarily tiny brain machine interfaces to enable paralyzed patients initially manipulate devices via pure thought, then eventually restore entire limb mobility, using external robotic components hardwired to the brain. Though Neuralink's umbrella of medical solutions remains firmly under ongoing trials for now, their novel micro-device bundles have already shown genuine promise decoding neuronal signals through thousands of imperceptible wired bundles plunged directly into animal cortices. While bioethics oversight rightfully reigns supreme for invasive human trials, patient volunteer groups continue expanding as word spreads. By fundamentally capturing a brain's rich input-output complexity at unprecedented bandwidths, optimists envision Neuralink devices one day not only restoring motor functionality, but perhaps also controlling entire virtual worlds through thought alone that could exceed waking reality's constraints through AI augmentation. Yet the tech's most immediate and uncontroversial applications lean more utilitarian than euphoric or recreational, despite no shortage of creative possibilities ahead, because demystifying timeless neural coding down to tractable software commands effectively recast the brain into plug-and-play joystick controlling seamless man-machine interaction across environments both tangible and simulated. Consider futuristic operators potentially thinking navigation coordinates rather than manually steering vehicles by yoke and pedals through life or death terrain. Hands-free operation frees up cognition to handle situational awareness, while machines shoulder literally mechanical burdens according to user intention. That collaborative ability likely proves indispensable, establishing thriving settlements in unforgiving off-world locations light years from home. Now enter the Optimus bipedal bots unveiled recently to wave arms, twirl metal rods and walk across stages without falling over unexpectedly during their inaugural appearances. Outwardly, these prototype androids wear synth skin exteriors wrapped over precision mechanical torso joints powered by modular battery packs borrowed from Tesla cars, rather than hypothetical synthetic hemoglobin substitutes still years away if ever. Admittedly, to some observers, the initial Optimus maneuver repertoire may seem rather underwhelming party tricks, given the long trail towards seamless human emulation still ahead. Yet their bland physical approachability to audiences arguably signals Neuralink priorities. Currently lie more with understanding essential neurological voltage patterns, underpinning biomechanical movement rather than attempting athletic finesse exceeding urgent survival needs, before fundamentals solidify through testing. Through relentless design sprints in months ahead, future Optimus generations should incrementally prove capable of manipulating objects with ever more delicate precision, routinely self-charging downtime, while gaining intrinsic spatial situational awareness, enabling them to safely navigate offices, work sites or residences, alongside proximate biological employees, without unpredictability or unnecessary risk. By incorporating ideas from his Boring Company underground highway solution proposal for Las Vegas, Musk even envisions entire diligent squadrons of Optimus Bots, swarming in self-contained cycles as needed through subterranean lava tunnels on Mars, their assembly line routines ceaselessly constructing radiation-shielded habitats 24 hours a day, until preparing optimal living conditions for earliest human crews aiming to set boots down perhaps sometime post-2030. In essence, the public Optimus prototype rollout represents foundational stirrings in an exceptionally ambitious yet meticulously planned merge strategy, from Musk seeking sustainable space diaspora across the inner solar system as technological insurance for species' existence riding one fragile biosphere hurtling onwards through stellar infinity. Every incremental insight Neuralink clinches regarding cognitive architectures and neuro-world interfaces buys compounding design improvements in android iterations, until sci-fi's uncanny valley scarcely resembles these initial cybernetic clunkers destined for museums, and each successive android generation tirelessly laying Mars habitat groundwork and infrastructure exponentially paves way for subsequent human colonists, with reactions and group intuition enhanced en route by Neuralink's own cycloptic biointerfaces as needed, thereby potentially ameliorating humankind's direst emotional and psychological pitfalls through gradient integration with AI's consummate strengths, while neutralizing extremes. Surviving the hellish rigors of interplanetary journeys, let alone thriving long-term through post-landing contingencies, will require partnership fusion beyond traditional servitude models or simple tool usage, as many science fiction dystopias presently warn, because on the most forbidding extraterrestrial frontiers, where round-trip radio lags can measure minutes, no backup lifeline exists beyond hardware and supplies, that steadfast preparation programs forward through months-long seasonal gaps between even brief direct Earth support. Corpus callosum microchip transducers transmitting survival instincts and experiential learning faster than fallible human fingers. Adjust controls could spell the essential difference on multiple worlds, between environmentally harmonious settlement or hastily forsaken graves, with enough brute labor divisible to tasks most safely and efficiently mastered by resilient tendons, digestive chambers and distributed neural ganglia, rather than weary mortal souls unnecessarily depleted by relentless hardship or drudgery. Emergent colonies able to allocate expertise across myriad specialty niches, ultimately build brighter worlds faster than generalists needlessly exhausting finite nows. Of course, even in ideal futures enabled through robotics and rockets, many thinkers argue near-term funding behind such ambitious moonshots might find superior returns, alleviating preventable crowdsourced human suffering, rather than escaping inevitable terrestrial fates here. And undeniably toxic tribal elements pervade certain engineering subcultures, whose visible faces shape public dialogue. Such thoughtful critiques are not lost on us either, having sleepwalked insulated privileged paths to this personal place of financial means and voice. Yet recall ancient stone megaproject cities, gravitational aqueducts and pilgrim roads also primarily arose through savvy imperial resource concentration, marshalling thousands from vast surroundings over generations united behind common pre-Enlightenment causes, while cutting ethical corners fostering avoidable misery, even under banners of civilizational progress remains morally inexcusable. Rationally and cooperatively marshaled means bypassing hereditary graft, superstition or exclusionary tribalism demonstrably provided catalysts, upgrading participation in destinies accessible to many more than a cloistered few, particularly given time for cementing ideas to harden beneficially, so two brain-chip biointerfaces deciphering instant internal telepathy and external world interaction stand to dramatically reduce neurological disorders or injury tolls across entire populations once access democratizes markets, and rocketry exponential improvements rendering routine orbital access inexpensive, as cellular subscriptions within a decade provides conduit infrastructure, whereby future generations expand civilization not downwards into graves but outwards among the stars. We cannot precisely chart what exponential technology growth trajectories portend, as cascading robot and rocket orders of magnitude unlock ever fresher possibilities, and horizons ahead of rates assumptions extrapolate. Perhaps many plausible futures already fan widely outward, from today's vantage point deep inside singular probability funnel necks, But statistically, at least some branches among the trillions of budding scenarios bifurcating must arc populations towards welcoming interplanetary harbors, rather than barren evolutionary dead ends that may have easily arisen worlds away on alternate world-line branches. So for the equivalent price of a movie ticket or coffee splurge rendered unto SpaceX Starlink today, pool resources bypass 9 square light-years of potential downstream delays, where cosmic calendars and compounding technological interests operate beyond intuitive human register. Together we living present stewards lay stepping stones, so that spacefaring descendants may confidently stride further beyond tomorrow's imaginable frontiers, plant enough sufficiently advanced technology seeds anywhere outside theoretic event horizons, then watch heaven set boundless limits on what rich, undreamed harvests may come. The cosmos still waits, whispering possibility at rudimentary technological cusps, should insatiable creators choose sustained listening instead of transient rage. We bid you safe passage through the stargates, friends.